In this video today, in this training, I want to talk about what is the blood type diet and if it has any evidence for having benefits for your health and how to follow it if you decide to go on a blood type diet. But first, welcome to my channel. If you just landed in here first time, I'm Dr. Elena Maganto and I'm thrilled to have you here every week where I bring more content to help you in improving your health a little bit more every day. So remember always to subscribe, to click the subscribe button and click the bell button so you can get the notification so you don't miss any video, because this is all valuable information. So the topic today is the blood type diet. So what is the blood type diet? The blood type diet became really popular after the book Eat Right for Your Type. And that was created by Dr. Peter D'Adamo. Dr. D'Adamo. But Dr. Peter D'Adamo wasn't the creator of the blood type diet, as everybody thinks. It was his father, Dr. James D'Adamo, who actually wrote first another book that is called One Man's Food is Someone Else's Poison. And he was already describing how the different blood type can condition different ways of eating as well. So it was his father, also naturopathic doctor, who was the leading creator of the blood type diet, and then he continued with his legacy. So the blood type diet gives recommendations for health and nutrition based on specific genetics for your individual genetics. And they consider that the blood type is a very good tool to identify how people can react to foods, to habits, and even to stressors differently, depending on the blood type that they have. Even the way they digest food. Some people digest better food or worse depending on their blood type. That is what the blood type diet is stating. And as you know, we have 4 different type of blood types. We have A, B, AB, and O. And then the blood type, what it is the expression of a specific antigen, a protein that is produced by our immune defense in our body, but is expressed on the red blood cells. These red blood cells are expressing different antigens. If it's expressing the antigen A, you will be a blood type A. If it's expressing the antigen B, you are a blood type B. And that for the 4 different blood types. So you can identify, if you still don't know which is your blood type, next time you go to get a blood work, you can ask for also getting your blood type at the doctor's office. Or even there are a lot of easy tests that you can get online in online stores, and you get at your home and you can just pick your finger and get a drop of blood to identify which is your blood type. And maybe this is something that you want to consider. So then how do we have to follow a blood type diet depending on our blood type? So the Dr. D'Adamo stated different type of foods that we have to avoid, different type of foods that are ideal to add, or even the way we have to exercise has to be different depending on our blood type. So for example, for a blood type A, like I am a blood type A. So blood type A is what they are called the cultivators, the farmers. Our ancestors, when they learn how to grow grains, legumes, beans, is when the A type appeared to adjust to the environment. A types have less alkaline phosphatase and hydrochloric acid, which is important for animal protein digestion. So what Dr. D'Adamo states is that blood type A's are the group that digest carbohydrates the best, but also they are the groups that have more difficulty digesting animal protein and fat in the same meal. So what is recommended on the blood type diet for an A type is going meat-free, completely meat-free, states that is more prone for a vegetarian diet, Definitely gluten-free. If you are adding grains as an energy source because you can digest carbohydrates well, you have to go gluten-free. Gluten-free affects type A's. Definitely dairy-free. Usually that's related also with animal protein, that type A's have a harder time digesting animal protein, and casein from dairy is a really complex protein that is very hard to digest. Legumes, beans, legumes, lentils, those are a yes for a type A on a blood type diet. Then a lot of vegetables. Focus mostly on leafy greens, carrots, cruciferous vegetables, mostly like broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, cabbage. Those are really rich in nutrients, and artichokes. And then also they can incorporate fruits like, for example, apples, berries, figs, pears, peaches, and plums. So as you can see, focus on plant-based diet for blood type A. But don't forget the protein, I always say. So plant-based proteins could be chia seeds, sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, nuts, avocado is the king of the plant-based proteins, and hemp seeds, really rich in omega-3 fatty acids. And then as a source of fat for a type A that is more prone for plant-based than animal, olive oil and coconut oil are really good nuts and fruits to put in your as a source of fat in your diet. And then for drinks, the type A's, they mostly do well with a lot of herbal teas through the day, and water to flush out a lot of toxins. And the type of exercise that Dr. D'Adamo says that is better for a type A is a calming exercise, more like walking, swimming, yoga, tai chi, pilates, more like calming exercise than vigorous exercise for a type A. Then for a type B, the type B were the nomads, were the people that were moving constantly here and there, occupying different lands. So then they have a higher tolerance for different variety of foods. They can incorporate a little bit more variety of foods than a type A. So a type B can incorporate a lot of meats, fruits, vegetables. It's kind of like close to a paleo diet that is called. Some of the vegetables and fruits and foods that can incorporate is leafy greens, always the first one, banana, grapes, pineapple, plums. Animal protein like turkey and lamb is good for type B, but not chicken, oatmeal, rice, and millet as a grain is beneficial for type B. Then no corn, no lentils or any other legumes, and no peanuts. And if it's incorporating any grain, ideally gluten-free, like I said before, the millet, rice, and oatmeal is beneficial for that. And I put dairy with a question tag because dairy for type B, it depends if they can digest it well or they get indigestion. If they get indigestion with the dairy, that means it's not for them. So it depends on the person. So some type Bs maybe are prone to be able to incorporate some dairy, but others type B don't. Type A, it was dairy free, completely dairy free. And the type of fats that a type B can incorporate, olive oil and flaxseed oil, have been shown by Dr. D'Adamo to be some of the most beneficial. Then for the type of liquids that are most beneficial to incorporate, water, green tea, and fruit juice are described for type B. And the type of exercise is more vigorous exercise, more aerobic exercise like cycling, running, jogging. That is more beneficial for a type B. Then the type AB. The type AB, Dr. Dadame described it as one of the most advanced based on digestion. They can digest many more different type of foods because it's a combination between an A and a B. So it can reach a different variety of foods. So for meats, seeds and grains. I put it with the question tags because this is the same as the B for dairy. How much meat, how many seeds, like pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, hemp seeds, chia seeds, or how many grains depends on if you get indigestion with them or not. So that is a group that you want to keep an eye on to know if you can put it or how much you can put from that. Definitely for a type AB, no corn, no vinegar, no alcohol. I would say no alcohol for any of the groups for anybody. That causes a lot of inflammation. And for type ABs, it's really good to focus as sources of protein on fish the most. Fish is one of the most beneficial for type AB. Also beans and legumes. Type Bs are not doing well with beans. Type As are doing well with beans. Type ABs are doing well with beans. So fish, legumes, vegetables, and fruits described in these other two groups are beneficial for type AB. Then the type of liquid that has been also shown to be beneficial is green tea, specifically coffee. For the coffee lovers, this is good news. And also a lot of water. And the type of exercise that is the best for a type AB is going more on mixing. Actually, like A's and B's, the AB can mix from calming to aerobic, more vigorous exercise like jogging, running, or hiking vigorously. So you can alternate if you are an AB between one and the other. And then finally, we have the type O. The type O is the hunters, is the one that is coming from our ancestors, the ones that were hunters, and they were eating mostly animal protein. Has been shown that the type O is the one that digests the best animal protein and fat compared to the other groups, and that is because type O have more alkaline phosphatase and more hydrochloric acid, which is important for animal protein digestion. So the type of diet that is more beneficial for a type O is a very low in carbohydrate, and that doesn't mean that you don't have any carbohydrate, because vegetables should be always the first thing that you should see on your plate, but you can go for more low carb vegetables. And then definitely no grains for no beans for type O. High in animal protein diet, they can digest very well animal protein, moderate dairy. So type O's can incorporate dairy, but the moderate full fat dairy is important that you moderate it, but you can incorporate it. No peanuts, corn, beans, and grains. So that is how the diet look like for a no type. And then the type of exercise is like regularly aerobic exercise. They need to release all that energy that they accumulate. And I know that I am a type A, I'm more calm. My husband is a type O, is really hyper. He's like this. He has really strong digestive system, digests much better animal protein than I do, because he has much more hydrochloric acid. So there is a clear pattern for different type of blood types that was described by Dr. Dadamos. However, does it have clear evidence that the blood type diet is beneficial for our health, just following this panel? So there's a lot of research out there, and there are not clear evidence that the blood type diet is adding any benefits to the diet. For example, I have here in my notes, in 2013, a review published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition stated no evidence currently exists to validate the health benefits of blood type diets on high cholesterol, diabetes, high blood pressure, food allergies, like different health conditions. Also, researchers that review 16 different articles among 1,500 articles. Also, after the review, they stated there were no clear correlation between the blood type diet with some benefits in health. But definitely there is people that are following the blood type diet and they say they get benefits for more energy, mental, they can think better, less memory fog, more mental health. They also have less inflammation, maybe asthma or other inflammatory disorders decreased, and also they correlated with weight loss. So there's people that following the type of diet, they felt this kind of results. However, the researchers, the way they argue these results is, for example, for weight loss. For weight loss, usually there are a lot of diets that go for weight loss, and if you decide to go on a blood type diet to lose weight, is doing exactly the same as the rest of the other diets, which is cutting sugar, refined and processed food. So clearly, on any type of dietary theory, as soon as we restrict the diet and we cut all those processed food, you lose weight. Overeating, eating processed causes weight gain, causes inflammation, and causes hormonal imbalances. As soon as we remove that, we start balancing our hormones and we decrease inflammation. So it's why the blood type diets and the rest of the other diets can help with weight loss just from cutting all those foods, and it's improving energy, because if your fatigue is coming from adrenal fatigue, as soon as you balance the hormones back carrying those foods, then you get energy again. And this is the same argument for example, inflammation and being immune suppressed. Processed, refined sugars are causing a lot of immune suppression in your body, start causing gastrointestinal disorders, leaky gut, systemic inflammation. As soon as we cut those triggers, we start decreasing inflammation and related disorders, and we start boosting immunity. So it's mostly about sticking to the whole foods, like we always say, and that is for the blood type diet or any other type of dietary theory. So that is why researchers say there's no clear evidence from just the blood type diet being the one that is beneficial to make those changes, because those changes are the same that are from other type of dietary theories. But it's true that there is a clear pattern for certain things. Like I mentioned before, type A's, they have less alkaline phosphatase, hydrochloric acid, which is important for animal protein digestion. However, O types are higher in hydrochloric acid, so they can digest better animal protein. And I have seen a clear pattern in my office for O types that they are vegan, they're not putting any animal protein, and they get really serious disorders because of B12 anemia related. So it's true that there is some clear pattern for that, but then the most important, as I always say, always is to personalize, to bio individualize. It's not a blood type diet, it's not just a ketogenic diet, it's not just a paleo diet, it's not just a vegan diet. It's a personalized diet, because maybe there are two persons with a blood type A, but those two persons cannot eat the same way. Maybe they are eating the same way based on the blood type A, but then one feel good, but the other one doesn't feel that good and has some health conditions. So it's why it has to be more personalized. And I have an example for that. For example, for type A's. For a person that suffers from SIBO, small intestine bacteria overgrowth, or candida overgrowth, for example, if the type A, based on Dr. Dadamos, is more prone for eating legumes and beans, people with SIBO cannot eat beans, cannot eat FODMAPs, because that causes more bacteria overgrowth. Until they heal from SIBO, they cannot put that type of food. So this is a clear example of how important is to work with a healthcare practitioner that is going to identify what is happening in your body, and then based on what is happening, that is the type of diet that you have to follow. So it's going to be a combination from blood type diet with low carb diet or vegan diet, but it's based on whatever you need in your body. So it's why I always put in the description of the video a link if you want to book a free consultation with me. as well, where we can identify which are those triggers that are causing the damage in your body, so we can start working in reverting that condition. But definitely blood type could have something to do in the way we react to certain things, or the way we have to exercise, or the way we react to stress, but has to be combined with other different changes, because it's not just about blood type diet. And I would love to hear in the comments if any of you is following the blood type diet, if you have any questions about it, or any questions about something else. I'm here. This is a community discussion space designed for you as well, to learn and then to ask any questions that you may have. So yeah, who's in there? Thank you for connecting. Anybody following the blood type diet? And if you don't know your blood type, if you are connected there, don't know your blood type, it could be good to identify which is your blood type. It could give some indications to the healthcare practitioner that you are working with. That is one of the first things that I ask everybody when they come for a consultation. Gina, type A, but do need some protein, so incorporate fish. Yes, so it depends, as we said, from any person's body, ability to detoxify properly, ability to digest properly, if there is any minerals deficiencies. So yes, mostly the type A people that has to incorporate some animal protein, usually it's better to focus on fish the most, because fish is more digestible than meat, like red meat or chicken, turkey, or pork. And fish is rich in the fatty acids that are fueling your body. Fish is full of omega, which is anti-inflammatory compared to the type of fat that is coming from meat. So fish is a smart way to incorporate protein if you are a type A, a blood type A. Very interesting concept on the blood types. Have not followed this before. Yes, this has been there already for years. There are a couple of books, as I said. Dr. Peter D'Adamo has the Eat Right for Your Type. And then he has been following the legacy of his father, who was also a naturopathic doctor, Dr. James D'Adamo. And he was the first one describing the blood type diet. In his book, One Man's Food is Someone Else's Poison. I really love this sentence, because it's true that there's no one type of diet for everyone. Every person is different, so it has to be individualized. So I really like the title of that book. All right, everyone. So the next steps to do: find out your blood type. If you don't know it, you can do it at your doctor's office, or I'm going to put the link in the description for a test that you can get, and you can identify your blood type at home as well. And then next, if you have any health concerns, work with a healthcare practitioner, because it's the one that is going to identify what is really best for your body.